Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Waalaikumsalam.
sir.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning. Good
Sir.
morning. Welcome back to our IELTS simulation second session. Are you guys ready for the second session today? Ready or
Yes,
not,
sir.
you're gonna do it. So that's a useless question. Sorry. So I hope today you will be more ready, yeah? Because yesterday you did the section one, and I hope you got some, how do you say, I don't know how to translate this in Bahasa, but there is this cool word. It's called hindsight. What does it mean? Can anybody check the dictionary or Google Translate? What is hindsight? Share it to the class. Check Google Translate and look up the word hindsight. What?
Melihat ke belakang.
Yeah, there you go. So it's like, what is it? When you look back to
Ma-
something you have done and you learn something from that. What is that in Bahasa?
Belajar dari masa lalu.
Yeah, there you go. Learn a lesson from the past. Yeah. So I hope from our first simulation you got some hindsight. Yeah, you got some hindsight, and you will be more prepared, more ready for the second session today. Okay, but before that, I want to ask you guys, what are you going to do today? What's your plan for today? Share in the chat box, please. What is your plan for today? What's your plan for today after the class, of course? Just to, to warm us up or warm it up. Miss Sandy is going to party. Okay, for what, Miss Sandy? Are you having a class in party?
Take, yes, Mister.
Wow, that's cool. What class? English class?
Yeah, English
Of
class.
course, English class. Yeah, there is only English class in party. Cool, 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 Miss Sandy. Have fun. Good luck with your
Yeah, thank
class.
you.
Zan will just be sleeping. Oh my gosh, Sean, your life is so nice. Yeah, so relaxed, Zan. Okay. All right. I hope you practice IELTS in your dream, Zan. Yeah. So you can still make it productive. Nabila will make lunch for her little brother. Very good. I hope your little brother will like the cooking. Anasha will watch a movie. What movie, Anasha?
I don't know, sir. Maybe genre horror movie.
Ah, horror genre. So you like horror
Yes,
movies?
sir.
Wow. Okay. Is it gonna be English movie, an English movie, or Indonesian or
Maybe I will watch Indonesian movie, but I will change the subtitle into English.
English? Wow. Where do you get English subtitle for Indonesian movies?
I watch a movie or film in Netflix, sir, so I get
Hmm.
subtitle English subtitle.
So wait a minute. Netflix shows Indonesian movies now.
Yes, sir.
Wow. I didn't know that. Since when?
I don't know. I just like beginner to use Netflix.
Netflix. Wow, dude, that's cool. Yeah, because I subscribed to Netflix in when I was studying in the USA. It was in 2017, 2018, and there was no Indonesian movie in the options. So good. That's cool. Good luck. Have fun. Yeah. Yeah. Try to use English subtitles so you can learn the vocabulary from the movie. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Rizka is going to listen to a podcast. What podcast, Rizka?
BBC Learning English 6 minutes.
Okay, that's good. And they use British English, right?
Yes, Mister.
Okay. Whose problem was it yesterday with British accent? Was it you, Rizka?
Uh, yes, Mister. There is
Ah,
a problem.
okay, good. That's a good solution for you then, Rizka. Very good. I
Yes,
forgot
Mister.
about I forgot about that. And speaking of podcasts, guys, there is this cool podcast that I also like to listen to about IELTS. I will show it to you. Um, let me show it to you. Yeah. Okay. How do I? Oops. Let's close this first. I will share it on the screen. So if you go to Spotify, which is I'm sure everybody has Spotify on their phone, look for this podcast, IELTS Energy. So this is my recommended podcast if you want to learn about IELTS through a podcast. It's very cool. They use American English, so the pronunciation is very clear. And they talk about strategies um, to to get 7 IELTS score or higher. So this is what it's called, IELTS Energy English by All Ears English. The podcasters are Lindsay McMahon, Jessica Beck, and Aubrey Carter. Check it out. Highly recommended. So when you're riding your motorcycle or when you're on a trip, on a bus, you can listen to this on your device. Yeah. Very good. Good luck with your podcast learning, Rizka. I
Yes, Mister.
will go back to Balangan. Okay, nice. Have a safe trip, Aya. And Miss Juhai will make test questions for the ninth grade exam. Okay, very good. Use ChatGPT to help you. It's very useful. I usually use that too when I'm making my materials. Raden will just scroll IG about English meme. Okay, good. At least there is English there, Raden. Okay, good luck, guys, with your plan today and have fun. Uh, Hopefully, it will help you to get you relax after the IELTS test we're gonna do. Yeah. All right. So that's it. Now let's go to our simulation for today. So today we are going to finish the listening simulation. Yesterday, which sections did we do? Which listening section did we do yesterday? Section
2,
1 and 2. Very
2,
good. So today we're gonna do what's the other sections? Section?
3 and 4.
Excellent, very good. So today we're going to finish it with section 3 and 4. So uh, you will be able to see your IELTS listening score, yeah, from the combination of yesterday and today's test. But before we start, let's review the key strategies, guys. What are the key strategies for IELTS listening? What do you do first?
Read
Read the question.
question.
Very good. So first, we need to skim the questions. Skim means to read fast because we only have short time. Yeah. So skim the questions. For what? What is the function? What is the goal of skimming the questions before the audio starts? Mhm.
So we can be prepared with the audio, sir.
Very good. Nice head, by the way, Nabila. So yeah, that's right, guys. So you skim the questions so that you can predict predictions of the end of the answers, right? So that's the purpose, guys. That's what you need to do first. When you skim the questions, you can predict, oh, the answer may be a name. Oh, the answer may be a number, or the answer may be an activity, or a place, or a time, right? So you can be prepared. What's next? What's next? After you skim the questions for predictions of the answers, what do you do next? Hmm? Wow, you forgot already? Oh my gosh.
Point of question, Mister.
Yeah, that's okay, very good. But that's included in the skimming. Okay. So including what is it? Getting the point or key of the or keywords of the questions. That's during the skimming too. But good job, Miss Andy. What's next? Okay, let me just tell you because we don't have much time. What's next is you need to follow the questions while listening to the audio. So you need to divide your concentration. Divide your concentration. You you look at the questions on the paper and then you listen to the audio to follow because the answers are always, how do you say, muncul berurutan? The questions and answers appear in order. Okay. So the questions and answers will appear in order. So you have to follow it so you can easily catch the answer in order. And this is the hard part, guys. Number 2 is the hard part because you need the skill of dividing your concentration. Not everyone is good at dividing their concentration, including me. I'm bad at dividing my concentration. If I listen, I cannot read. It's difficult for me to read at the same time. So what should you do to improve your multiple concentration skill? You need to practice. Practice this a lot. Okay? Practice doing this a lot during your preparation in your free time because it's not easy. Okay, and then what's next? What do you do when you are when you miss the answer? You didn't hear it, you didn't catch it. What should you do?
Guess question. Guess answer.
Yes, that's right. Just guess and
Answer.
just guess. Yeah, guess an answer and move
Move to the next.
on. Okay, move on. Focus on the next one. Don't stop and thinking about, oh, what was it? Oh, I didn't catch it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I will get bad score. I didn't catch the answer. And then you panic, you get nervous, and that's it. All the questions are gone. So no, if you don't catch it, if you don't catch the answer, it's okay. Just guess and move on. Focus on the next ones. Okay? And then don't forget about spelling. Yeah. Make sure the spelling is Correct. Some of you from yesterday, your answer is correct, like dentist, but your spelling is wrong. So improve your spelling, guys. Yeah. If you don't know what the spelling of a word, open your phone and look it up on Google Translate maybe, or on a website or ChatGPT. Always check spelling. And don't forget, this is included in the beginning here. Guess the what is it? Not guess, but predict the grammar. Predict the grammar of the missing word from the words around it. Okay. Predict the grammar of the answer from the words around it. Like yesterday, with the question train, some of you answer correctly, train, but you forget the S. So that's why your answer was wrong, because you forget S. And you could know with you could use you could know that the answer is with S if you pay attention that there is no sebuah. So that means more than one. So if it's more than one, you should use S. Okay? So that's it, guys. Any questions about the key strategies?
All clear, sir.
Okay, thank you, Nabila. All right. If all is clear, and I hope that helps you get more ready. So now we will begin the listening simulation test for the IELTS section 3 and 4. Like yesterday, I'm going to share the materials in the group, and you please download it. And then write your answers on a piece of paper. And then later you will move or transfer your answer to the Google form. Okay, here is the material I will upload on to the group. It's in the group now. Go ahead and download it. And then open the file. After you open the file, prepare your pencil or pen and paper to write your answers. And then I will play the audio. As usual, write in the chat box when you are ready with R, yeah, like the example. I will wait until everybody is ready. Okay, Rizka is ready. Nabila is too. Miss Juhai is also ready. So is Miss Sandy. Okay, let's wait for the others. Type R in the chat box when you are ready so we can start. Okay, Ahmad Fadi. Yeah, very good. Raden. Okay, let's wait for Zan. I think Zan is the only one that hasn't responded. Okay, Zan just confirmed. Okay, everybody is ready. Now we will begin. Everybody, please turn off your microphones so you don't disturb the audio. You can turn off your camera if you want. It's okay. And now I will play the audio. And remember, I will not repeat. So make sure you really get everything ready and clear for you to catch the audio. Oh, wait a minute. Anasia was disconnected, and now she is just joining. Let's wait for her. Anasia, are you ready? Oh, wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there are two devices for Anasia. I thought you got disconnected. All right, okay. All right, we're gonna start now. Here we go. Good luck.
Section 3. You will hear two anthropology students called Victor and Olivia discussing their joint presentation about a Norwegian explorer called Thor Heyerdahl. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 24. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 24.
Right, well, for our presentation, shall I start with the early life of Thor Heyerdahl?
Sure. Why don't you begin with describing the type of boy he was, especially his passion for collecting things?
That's right. He had his own little museum. And I think it's unusual for children to develop their own values and not join in their parents' hobbies. I'm thinking of how Heyerdahl wouldn't go hunting with his dad, for example.
Yeah, he preferred to learn about nature by listening to his mother read to him. And quite early on, he knew he wanted to become an explorer when he grew up. That came from his camping trips he went on in Norway, I think.
No, it was climbing that he spent his time on as a young man.
Oh, right. After university, he married a classmate, and together they decided to experience living on a small island to find out how harsh weather conditions shaped people's lifestyles.
As part of their preparation, before they left home, they learnt basic survival skills, like building a shelter. I guess they needed that knowledge in order to live wild in a remote location with few inhabitants, cut off by the sea, which is what they were aiming to do.
An important part of your talk should be the radical theory Heyerdahl formed from examining mysterious ancient carvings that he happened to find on the island. I think you should finish with that.
Okay.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 25 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 25 to 30.
All right, Victor, so after your part, I'll talk about Thor Heyerdahl's adult life, continuing from the theory he had about Polynesian migration. Up until that time, of course, academics had believed that humans first migrated to the islands in Polynesia from Asia in the west.
Yes, they thought that travel from the east was impossible because of the huge empty stretch of ocean that lies between the islands and the nearest inhabited land.
Yes, but Heyerdahl spent ages studying the cloud movements, ocean currents, and wind patterns to find if it was actually possible. And another argument was that there was no tradition of large shipbuilding in the communities lying to the east of Polynesia. But Heyerdahl knew they made lots of coastal voyages in locally built canoes.
Yes, or sailing on rafts, as was shown by the long voyage that Heyerdahl did next. It was an incredibly risky journey to undertake. Sometimes I wonder if he did that trip for private reasons, you know? To show others that he could have spectacular adventures. What do you think, Olivia?
Well, I think it was more a matter of simply trying out his idea, to see if migration from the east was possible.
Yes, that's probably it. And the poor guy suffered a bit at that time because the war forced him to stop his work for some years.
Yes. When he got started again and planned his epic voyage, do you think it was important to him that he achieve it before anyone else did?
I haven't read anywhere that that was his motivation. The most important factor seems to have been that he used only ancient techniques and local materials to build his raft.
Yes. I wonder how fast it went.
Well, it took them 97 days from South America to the Pacific Islands.
And after that, Heyerdahl went to Easter Island, didn't he? We should mention the purpose of that trip. I think he sailed there in a boat made out of reeds.
No, that was later on in Egypt, Olivia.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But what he wanted to do was talk to the local people about their old stone carvings and then make one himself to learn more about the process.
I see. Well, what a great life. Even though many of his theories have been disproven, he certainly left a lasting impression on many disciplines, didn't he? To my mind, he was the first person to establish what modern academics call practical archaeology. I mean that they try to recreate something from the past today, like he did with his raft trip. It's unfortunate that his ideas about where Polynesians originated from have been completely discredited.
Yes. Right, well, I'll prepare a PowerPoint slide at the end that acknowledges our sources. I mainly used The Life and Work of Thor Heyerdahl by William Oliver. I thought the research methods he used were very sound, although I must say I found the overall tone somewhat old-fashioned. I think they need to do a new, revised edition.
Yeah, I agree. What about the subject matter? I found it really challenging.
Well, it's a complex issue.
I thought the book had lots of good points. What did you think of the illustration?
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear a business student predicting how management might change in the next few years. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Well, I've been talking to managers in a number of businesses and reading surveys about the future of management. And what I'm going to present in this seminar is a few ideas about how the activity is likely to change in the next 10 years. It isn't a scientific statistical analysis, just some ideas for us to discuss. One area I want to mention is business markets, and I'm sure a really significant development will be a major increase in competition, with companies from all around the world trying to sell similar products. Consumers will have much more choice. For instance, food products sold in Australia might be manufactured in the USA, China, Finland, and dozens of other countries. At the same time, mergers and takeovers mean that governments are actually losing power to major global corporations. We can probably all think of companies that exert a great deal of influence, which may be good for consumers. A third point I want to make about markets is that in the rapidly expanding economies such as India, China, Brazil, and Russia, demand is growing very fast. This is putting pressure on resources all over the world. I think businesses are becoming more open to external influences. In particular, companies are consulting customers more and more before making their business decisions. Companies are finding out what they want and providing it, instead of making products and then trying to sell them, which is the model of years ago. Another influence is that concerns about the environment will force manufacturers to extend product life cycles to reduce the amount of pollution and waste. And, in some cases, regulation will need to be strengthened. Many societies are much more fluid and democratic, and the structure of companies is changing to reflect that. I think we're going to see a greater emphasis within companies on teams created with a specific project in mind. And when they're completed, the teams will be disbanded and new ones formed. More and more people see work as simply one part of their lifestyle, and not the most important one. And as the workforce is shrinking in some countries, businesses are having to compete for staff instead of being able to choose among a lot of applicants. Typical examples that will attract and retain staff are traditional ones like flexible hours and, something that has been made possible by advances in technology, remote working, with people based at their home, abroad, or almost anywhere they choose. Management styles will almost certainly continue to change. Senior managers will require a lot more than the efficiency that they've always needed. Above all, they'll need great skills in leadership so that their organization can initiate and respond to change in a fast-moving world where they face lots of competing requirements and potential conflicts. In most of the world, the senior managers of large businesses are mainly men in their 50s and 60s. The predominant style of management will almost certainly become more consultative and collaborative, caused, above all, by more women moving into senior management positions. Many of the changes are influenced by developments in the wider economy. The traditional emphasis of business was manufacturing, and of course the service sector is very important. But we shouldn't overlook the growing financial contribution of IP, that is, intellectual property. Some books and films generate enormous sums from the sale of related DVDs, music, games, clothes, and so on. Another point I'd like to make is that although I've been talking about companies, one trend that they have to face is the move away from people working for the same employer for years. Instead, more and more people are becoming self-employed to gain the freedom and control over their lives that they're unlikely to get from being employed. Okay, well, that's all I want to say, so let's open it up for discussion.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. In the IELTS test, You would now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet.
Okay, that's it, guys. Time's up. So now I will share the Google form for you to transfer your answers to. Okay. I will share it on the group as usual. Hold on. And for Anchai, it's okay, Anchai. You will get makeup tests later. After the class, I will share another test for you. But you should join our discussion so you can learn of, you know, you can get the lesson. Okay. Okay, the answer sheet is there in the group. I will also share it on our chat box. All right. Now I will give you 5 minutes to fill out the answer sheet to transfer your answers. And then after that, we will start the discussion. Don't forget to click submit after you transfer your answers because I will close the submission. I will close the response after you do it before we discuss the answers. Okay? So please click submit. 5 minutes, start from now. And time's up. So please click submit now, guys, before I close the submission. Okay, so far, Sophia has submitted it. And then there is Rizka, Anasha, Fauzan, Nabila, Miss Sandy, Ahmad Fuadi, Miss Juhai, and Raden. Okay, looks like there are some absentees today. Yeah, I don't see Zaini, and Anchai will do it later because he was at work earlier and couldn't take the test. So you will do it later, Anchai. But Anchai, you will get a different question. Okay. Um. But you can still join the discussion, so you can learn. You know, the strategies, and you can get the hindsight from that first from the practice just now. Okay, so let's start. I will close the submission now. And let's discuss the answers, guys. But first, I want to hear from you guys. How do you feel about that? From 1 to 10. 10 is very, very difficult. 1 is very easy. What's the score for the section 2 and 3 just now?
0 for me.
What, Miss Andy?
0 for me, very difficult,
Oh,
Mister, for
oh,
me.
you mean 10. Okay.
No, I mean
11. Yeah, 11.
no.
Okay. That's fine. Remember, section 3 and 4 are the most difficult ones in listening. Yeah. And yeah, it's not easy. And that's why we are doing this simulation so you can, prepare yourself better. And Anasha gives it 1,000 because it's so difficult. All right. But what makes it difficult, guys? What's the difficult? What's the challenge?
The
Use
topic, sir.
topic.
The topic. Very good. Yes.
The topic and my ear.
Yeah, because the topic is academic, right? It's something that people hear in universities, in campuses. So that's why it's hard. Very good. For ears, I don't know. Zan, I think you need to clean up your ears. Okay, what else? What makes it difficult?
Use many paraphrase, I think.
Yes, that's right. There are many and higher level paraphrases. Higher level paraphrases or synonyms. Yep, you're right. And that's why it's difficult. But you know what, guys? The point for all the questions in section 1, 2, 3, 4 is the same. They all have the same point, only one. So if you make many mistakes in section 3 and 4, but you have many correct answers in section 1 and 2, it can still boost your score. Because even though it's more difficult, the score, the point is still the same. Only 1 point for one question. So yeah, don't get too sad if you have many wrong answers in section 3 and 4. As long as you can get the score 6 or 6.5. That's the key. You don't have to be perfect with your answers. Okay, and another thing that I think makes it difficult, makes it hard, is because of the long explanations, right? There are long explanations of the topic, and we can easily lose track of the questions, of the question order. So, for example, in section 4, if you lose track of question, let's say 25, it's hard to get back, It's hard to get back to the track. So that's what makes it difficult too. And I think practice will help with that. So just keep on practicing, guys. All right. Okay, now let's check the answers together. Let's start with number 21 and 22. What do you think? What are your answers, guys? Which two hobbies was Thor Heyerdahl very interested in as a youth? All right, let's listen to the audio together.
Section 3. You will hear two anthropology students called Victor and Olivia discussing their joint presentation about a Norwegian explorer called Thor Heyerdahl.
Okay, listen.
First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 24.
Okay, so remember during the when the narrator gives you time to look at the questions, you need to skim, read fast and get the idea. So what is the conversation about? It's about Thor Heyerdahl. Who is Thor Heyerdahl? He is some kind of a scientist, right? Who studies about some, I don't know, some area in the world in the past, historical scientist maybe. So by doing that, you prepare yourself better to catch the information from the audio. So now let's listen to the audio for number 21 and 22. Listen carefully so you can catch the answers.
And answer questions 21 to 24.
Right, well, for our presentation, shall I start with the early life of Thor Heyerdahl?
Sure. Why
Okay.
don't you begin with describing
Okay, that's the first clue. Early life. What is the meaning of early life, guys?
When he was young.
Very good. So the paraphrase is as a youth, right? So that's what you need to catch when you get the clue from the speaker that connects it to the question, then that's when you need to focus. So now you get the clue of this question, so you need to really listen carefully to catch which one was Thor's hobbies when he was a kid, when as a youth. As a youth means when you were a child. Yeah. So let's catch it.
The type of boy he was, especially his passion for collecting things.
His passion for collecting things. So his passion for collecting things means his hobby to collect things. So is there any collecting there? There is, right? It's C. His passion for collecting things. So passion is the synonym of hobby. All right. So we get the first answer, his passion of collecting things. So C is one of the answers. Now let's find the second one.
That's right. He had his own little museum.
Okay, so we have collecting things.
And I think it's unusual for children to develop their own values and not join in their parents' hobbies.
Remember, there is going to be always a trap, jebakan, right? And this is the trap. When the speaker says,
And I think it's unusual for children to develop their own values and not join in their parents' hobbies.
it's unusual for children to not follow their parents' hobbies. So the man says that jarang anak-anak tidak mengikuti hobi ayahnya.
I'm thinking of how Hayadal wouldn't go hunting with his dad, for
I'm thinking of how Heyerdahl wouldn't go hunting. So that's the trap. The speaker says hunting, but he says that Heyerdahl would not go hunting. So that means hunting is not his hobby because he wouldn't go hunting. All right. So not Delta.
example.
Yeah, he preferred to learn about nature by listening to his mother read to him. And quite early on, he knew he wanted to become an...
Oh, wait a minute. Reading is another trap. Who likes reading to him? Is it him or his mother? It's his mother who likes reading to him, not him. So reading is another trap.
Wouldn't go hunting with his dad, for example.
Yeah, he preferred to learn about nature by listening to his mother read to him. And quite early on, he knew he wanted to become an explorer.
He knew he wanted to become an explorer. So what do you do when you become an explorer?
When he grew up. That came from his camping trips he went on in Norway, I think.
That came from his camping trip. Now, that's another trap, jebakan lagi. Because the woman says he went camping, but she didn't say he likes camping. She didn't say it's his hobby, right? So camping is a trap.
No, it was climbing that he spent his time on as a young man.
It was climbing that he spent his time on as a young man. So Thor Heyerdahl spent his time climbing. Now, that means his hobby was
Oh, right.
climbing. The answer is B and C. Did you get it right? Nabila got it right. And Zan, good job. But some of you still get 1 point, yeah, because you get either C or B correct. Yeah, like Raden, you got 1 point. You answered with B, but you didn't get the point for C, so 1 is okay. All right, next one. Next one is the question asking about the reasons why Heyerdahl went to live on an island. So what are the 2 reasons why Heyerdahl go goes to the island. Listen to the audio again. And what's your answer? Let's hear it first. Let's see your answer in the chat box, guys. What's your answer for 23 and 24? Nabila answered BNE. Zan BNA. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Ahmad Fuadi BND. Different combination. Radin is also different. A and D. Okay, let's check it out, guys. Remember, look for the keywords mentioned. When you hear the keywords, that's the one you need to focus on. So here we go. What are the reasons he went on an island?
After university, he married a classmate and
So what you need to focus on is island. Yeah, that's the keyword. When you hear island, that's the clue. Okay, this is where the answer is going to be. So you really need to look for it there. If you don't hear island or a synonym of that, don't worry if you don't understand what you hear, because that's not important. What's important is when you hear the keyword. So don't panic if you don't understand everything you hear, because it may not be important and not the answers, what the answer is about.
together they decided to experience living on a small island.
Okay, that's the key there. Living on a small island. So the answer will be around here. Focus.
To find out how harsh weather conditions shaped people's lifestyles.
To find out how harsh weather conditions shape people's life. Harsh weather conditions, situasi cuaca yang buruk. So which one is that? It's not there, right?
C, sir.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sort of, but not explicit yet. It's not clear yet. So let's keep on listening.
As part of their preparation, before they left home, they learnt basic survival skills, like building a shelter.
Be careful. To learn survival skills is the trap. It's not why they want to go to the island, it's their preparation. So if you answer D, you fall into the trap, terjebak, because it's not why they want to go to the island, it's what they do to prepare. So it's not the reason, but it's the preparation. So not delta, unfortunately, guys. Okay? So if you answer D, that's why D is wrong, because it's not the reason, it's the preparation they do. So preparation, persiapan is different, berbeda dengan reason, alasan. Okay? So that's a trap, not delta.
I guess they needed that knowledge in order to live wild in a remote location with
Live wild in a remote location. They want to live in a remote location. So what is the synonym of that? Live in a remote location. They want to live in a remote location. Synonym?
Isolated place.
Yes,
Isolated
very good. So
place.
remote means isolated. Let me write it down here. They want to live in a remote location. Place is the synonym of, location is the synonym of place. It's the paraphrase of place. So the answer for the first reason is B. Yeah, they want to experience an isolated place. All right, let's find the second reason.
few inhabitants, cut off by the sea, which is what they were aiming to do.
An important part of your talk should be the radical theory Hayadal formed from examining mysterious ancient carvings that he happened to find on the island.
And they want the creating a theory based on what they find in the island. So they want to make a theory about what they find in the island. So what is the synonym of that? To create a theory about something on the island. So which one is the closest synonym of that? Is it the survival skills? No. To create a a theory. Hold on. Let's listen again.
I think you should finish with that.
Okay. Which is what they were aiming to do.
An important part of your talk should be the radical theory Heyerdahl formed from examining mysterious ancient carvings that he happened to find on the island.
To examine mysterious ancient carvings. There are not many, what is it? Paraphrases there, but it's pretty clear. Hold on. Where is that? Wait. I need to check something first. Okay. Okay, this is a tricky one. Hold on. The last one is, as you can hear from the audio once again,
Which is what they were aiming to do.
An important part of your talk should be the radical theory Heyerdahl formed from examining mysterious ancient carvings that he happened to find on the island. I think you should...
to examine the ancient carvings. Yeah, it's pretty clear that the woman says that.
Which is what they were aiming to do.
An important part of your talk should be the radical theory Heyerdahl formed from examining mysterious ancient carvings that he happened to find on the island. I think you should finish with that.
So the answer is?
A.
Yep. Hold on. Why is it not moving? Okay. There you go, guys. So they decided to experience living on a small island to find out how harsh weather conditions people's lifestyle. So it's BNA. All right. Anybody got the 2 points? Oh, Miss Juhai got the 2 points. Good job. Zan as well. Okay, good. Well done. Let's continue. Next one. We have question 25 to 30. Let's start with 25. What's your answer, guys? Share it in the chat box. A, B, or C. So this is multiple choice questions. It's technically easier because you can get lucky and you can guess the right answer without understanding the questions and answers. So let's see. Zan and Raden answer with C. Miss Sandy follows. Ahmad Fuadi is different. Seconded by Miss Nabila and Rizka. All right, good. C or A? Let's find out. Let's listen to this part. Listen to the audio and try to catch the keyword.
Okay.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 25 to 30.
He had about Polynesian...
Okay. Here we go.
Now listen and answer questions 25 to 30.
All right, Victor. So after your part, I'll talk about Thor Heyerdahl's adult life, continuing from the theory he had about Polynesian migration. Up until that time, of course, academics had believed that humans first migrated to the islands in Polynesia from Asia in the west.
Yes, they thought that travel from the east was impossible because of the huge empty stretch of ocean that lies between the islands and the nearest inhabited land.
Okay, there's the answer. Let's take a look at the script. Miss Sandy, can you read it for us, please? Repeat what the speaker says about the answer.
Yes, they threw the travel from the
They thought.
they thought that travel from the east was impossible because of the huge, empty stretch of ocean that lies between the islands and the nearest inhabited land. Inhabited land.
Inhabited land. Very good. So
Very
what does it say, guys? Why was it impossible for the Polynesian to migrate from the east? Because of the huge empty stretch of ocean that lies between the island and the inhabited land. So what is that? There is a big ocean between the islands. That means they were, was it
Far
because of,
away.
very good, Ahmad Fadi, because they were far away, guys. The answer is A, right? It's far away. Not about materials for the boat, not about the directions, but because there's a big ocean, huge empty stretch of ocean. That's the paraphrase uh, being far away from each other. So pay attention to this kind of paraphrases, guys. That's the biggest challenge here. And I know it's hard because the vocabulary, yeah? The vocabulary is very it's higher level, and so you need to improve your vocabulary, unfortunately. All right, let's go to number 26 now. What's your answer, guys? Which do the speakers agree was the main reason for Heyerdahl's raft journey? So the key word here is agreement. That means the woman and the man in the conversation will agree about. And it's about the raft journey. So when you hear raft journey, that's when you need to focus really hard and then look for something that they agree about. And all of you answered C. Let's check it out. Listen to the part.
Yes, but Heyerdahl spent ages studying the cloud movements, ocean currents, and wind patterns to find if it was actually possible. And another argument was that there was no tradition of large shipbuilding in the communities lying to the east of Polynesia.
So you see this, guys? There is long talk, long speech by the speaker, but it's not connected to the question. So it's okay if you don't understand them. So don't get frustrated because you don't understand what you hear right away. Maybe it's not important. It's not about the question. So wait until you hear the keyword, which is raft journey here in this question, right? So relax. If you don't understand everything, it's okay if it's not important.
But Heyerdahl knew they made lots of coastal voyages in locally built canoes.
Yes, or sailing on rafts.
There's the keyword, sailing on raft. So this is the time when you need to really focus and catch the answer.
As was shown by the long voyage that Heyerdahl did next. It was an incredibly risky journey to undertake. Sometimes I wonder if he did that trip for private reasons, to show others that he could have spectacular adventures.
To show others that he did some spectacular adventure. So that's what the men say, that Heyerdahl's raft journey is to show that he did a spectacular adventure. But does the woman agree?
What do you think, Olivia?
Well, I think it was more a matter of simply trying out his idea.
The woman doesn't agree because she says, well, I think it's more a matter of testing his idea, proving his idea. That's the woman's argument. Let's hear if the men agree.
To see if migration from the east was possible.
Yes, that's probably it.
Yes, the men agree. So the man and the woman agree that Heyerdahl's raft journey want to see if something is possible, to test a new theory. Good job, guys. All of you are correct. Okay. Trying out his idea to see if it's possible. So that's the paraphrase is to test, yeah, to see if something is possible. Trying out means to test. So that's the paraphrase, the synonym. The answer is C. Good job. Well done. Moving on to number 27. What do you think is the answer? What was most important to Heyerdahl about his raft journey? Okay, another Droves of seas. Let's check it out. So listen to the next part of the audio. Listen carefully and look for the keyword most important about raft journey. The most important about raft journey.
And the poor guy suffered a bit at that time because the war forced him to stop his work for some years.
Yes. When he got started again and planned his epic voyage, do you think it was important to him that he achieve it before anyone else did?
See, that's the keyword. Important that he achieve it before anyone else did. So the woman asked, is it the most important that he was the first person to do it? So this is the clue for A. Let's hear.
I haven't read anywhere that that was his motivation.
The man disagrees. So A is a trap. It's not the answer because the man disagrees, right? He said, the man says, I haven't heard about that in any of the reading. So not A, unfortunately.
The most important factor seems to have been that he used only ancient techniques and local materials to build his raft.
The most important is, as you can see in the script. Zan, can you read the transcript for the answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
I haven't read anywhere that was his motivation. The most important factor seems to have been that he used only a change technique,
Ancient
ancient
techniques and
local material
materials
to
to
build
raft.
his raft.
What's the synonym or paraphrase of this from the option? Is it A? No. Is it the speed of crossing the Pacific? Is there anything about speed here? No.
No, B.
It's
C.
the authentic construction methods. So construction methods is the way you choose your materials and the way you use your the technique you use to build something. So that's the paraphrase of construction methods. The answer is C. And you see, guys, that is the way, that is the strategy for all of the questions in the listening. If you can master this technique, kalau kalian bisa kuasai teknik menjawab seperti ini, the listening questions will be very easy. Because the same way, the same technique, you listen for the answers in order, dengarkan secara berurutan, look for the paraphrase, identifikasi kata paraphrase-nya, sinonimnya, and then match it to the answers. That's the only key strategy for the listening. So that's what you need to keep on practicing. Okay? All right. Now, let's continue with number 28. Why did Heyerdahl go to Easter Island? So the keyword is Easter Island. And let's listen to the audio. Look for Easter Island and pay attention to the answer around it.
Yes. I wonder how fast it went.
Well, it took them 97 days from South America to the Pacific Islands.
And after that, Heyerdahl went to Easter Island,
There's the clue, guys. So you see, when you hear the keyword, then it will be easier to find, to look for the answer after that.
didn't he? We should mention the purpose of that trip.
The purpose of that. So the purpose is the reason why. So here is the part where you will find the answer.
I think he sailed there in a boat made out of reeds.
No,
I think he sailed there on a boat made out of reed. So B, to sail a reed boat. And the man says no. So not B, guys. Sorry. The answer is not B for 28.
that was later on in Egypt, Olivia.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So that's a trap. Remember, be careful with traps. You will hear traps.
But what he wanted to do was talk to the local people about their old stone carvings.
All right, there you go. Can you read it, please, Raden?
Yes, sir. But what he wanted to do was talk to the local people about their old stone carvings and then make on himself to learn more about the process.
Which one is the synonym or the paraphrase of that? Is it A or C? It's A.
C.
Ah,
Oh,
C.
A, yeah. Oh, A, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
C is to learn local language, and this one is about stone carvings. Yeah. The synonym of carving is statue. So the answer is A. 29. What's your answer, guys? The keyword for 29 is Olivia's opinion. So Olivia is the woman, yeah, the female speaker. And the opinion about greatest influence of Heyerdahl. Let's listen. Or you know what? Because we don't have much time, let's just look at the transcript. Look at the transcript. And I'd like to invite Miss Juhai to read the transcript. Miss Juhai, please go ahead. It's a long one, so you can practice your pronunciation too.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
I see. Well, what a great life. Even though many of his
Theory.
theories have been disproven,
Very good.
he certainly left a
Left,
left
left,
a lasting impression on many
disciplines.
disciplines,
Didn't he?
didn't he?
Very good.
To my mind, he was the first person to esta- establish
Establish.
what establish what modern academics call practical archaeology. I mean that they try to recreate something from the past today, like he did with his rap trip. It's unfortunate that his ideas about where
Pollinations.
poly,
Pollinations.
pollinations
Originated.
or originated from have been completely
Discredited.
discredited.
Very good. So you pay attention to the underlined one, guys. That's the answer. So to my mind means my opinion. So this is the woman's opinion. He was the first person to establish what modern academics call practical archaeology. So Heyerdahl was the first person to what is it? To develop, to create this subject, yeah. So the answer, the synonym of that from the option is A, B, or C. Is it theories about Polynesians' origins? No, because it was discredited. So that's not what Olivia thinks as the biggest influence. The development of archaeological methodology? Nope. It's not the development, it's the establishment. So establish means membuat, develop means mengembangkan. It's different. Okay? So not B because of the different meaning of the words. The answer is, oh, hold on. Establishing a as an academic. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was wrong there. C is incorrect because archaeology is the general subject. Archaeology is the general subject, and this one is not about archaeology but practical archaeology. Okay, it's a more specific methodology in the subject. So he is one of the first people to create this new methodology. So it's not the subject, but it's a methodology. I didn't pay attention to that part there. So the answer for this is B, unfortunately, and a lot of you are correct. I'm surprised, guys. I'm amazed. Well done. You didn't get the answer key to this question. Did you? I hope not. Because this is one of the difficult ones. So Zan, Riska, Juhai, and Nabila, that's a great job for answering this correctly. So Charlie is a trap because it says archaeology, which is the general topic, the general subject, and it has been established many years ago before Heyerdahl was born. So that's why C is wrong. Okay, the answer is B. All right, the last one, number 30. Let's see if you guys could answer this correctly too. Okay, Zan, answer A. All right, Miss Andy is different with C, followed by Miss Juhai. Radin with A. Okay, what about the others? Let's hear from the others. Nabila with A. Okay, Nabila, your turn. Read the transcript and try to double check if your answer is right or not. Go ahead. But before you start, Nabila, so pay attention to the question. Which criticism do the speakers make of William Oliver's textbook? So the keyword is criticism from the speakers. So the speakers here are Olivia and Victor, right? So what criticism, what critic do they give about this textbook? And you can find it here. Go ahead, Nabila.
Yes, right. Well, I'll prepare a PowerPoint slide at the end that acknowledge our sources. I mainly use the life and work of Thor Heyerdahl by William Oliver. I thought the research methods he used were very sound, although I must say I found the overall tone somewhat old-fashioned. I think they need to do a new, revised edition.
Okay, so let's look something that is like a criticism, something negative. So here, I was mainly used the life of the. I thought the research used was very sound. Sound means good. So the research method is good. They didn't give any criticism for that. What they criticize is the overall tone is old-fashioned. Tone means the way someone explains something. Old-fashioned means what, guys? What is the meaning of old-fashioned?
Jadul.
Jadul, very good.
Gaya
And
lama.
very good. And which one is the paraphrase of that from the option? A, B, or C?
A.
Out of? Out of date. Out of date is the paraphrase of old-fashioned. And tone is style. So the answer is A. So you see, it's all about paraphrase, guys. Catching the information and look for the paraphrase, the synonym, and you'll be able to answer the question easily and correctly. Okay. All right. We're not gonna do this very detailed with the answers here. I'll just show you the script and the answers right away. So number 31, we can see from the script. One area I want to mention is business markets, and I'm sure a really significant development will be a major increase in competition with companies from all around the world trying to sell similar products. So the business markets, there will be a greater competition.
Yes.
Okay. Major competition, a major increase in competition. Greater is the paraphrase of major. And then increase in power of large blah, blah, blah companies. The speaker says, at the same time, mergers and takeovers mean that governments are actually losing power to major global corporations. So the synonyms are corporations means companies. Major means large. So what's missing in the middle is global. Right? So paraphrase, and this is the same word because remember, one word from the from the audio, from the listening. So we don't change the answer, the word for the answers. And then number 33, rising blah 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 in certain countries. Certain countries. Countries means things like India, China, Brazil, Russia. So that's the keyword. That's the paraphrase for countries. Here in the question it says countries, but in the audio it uses the names of the countries. So what is rising there? There is in the rapidly expanding economies such as India, China, demand is growing very fast. What is growing very fast?
Demand.
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 So the synonym growing very fast, same as rising. Certain countries are India, China, Brazil, and Russia, and demand is in the middle. So you see, they changed the position also of the objects. So the paraphrase is higher level here, not only word but also the sentence position, sentence structure. Number 34. More discussions with before making business decisions. So in the audio transcript, the speaker says, I think businesses are becoming more open to external influences. In particular, companies are consulting customers more and more before making their business decisions. Perusahaan berkonsultasi dengan customer-nya lebih dan lebih. Lebih banyak, lebih sering dan lebih sering before making their business decisions. So, more discussion with who? With when you consult something to someone means you make discussion, and here
Customers.
the discussions with customers. And with S or no S,
With
remember,
With S.
if you don't see that means it's plural, and here there is no so you must use S. If you don't use S, it's wrong. You have to use a plural if there is no okay. So more discussion with customers. And then number 35, environmental concerns, which may lead to more concerns about the environment. Environmental concerns, those are the synonyms, will force manufacturers to extend product life cycles to reduce the amount of pollution and waste, and some kind of regulation will need to be strengthened. So, okay, what do you think is the answer to this, guys?
Regulations, or
Regulations? Why not why not life cycles? Because it doesn't make sense, right? To more life cycles, kesinambungan product lebih, environmental concerns, it doesn't make sense. They don't connect. So regulations, peraturan, more, it makes more sense. Okay, the answer is regulation. And regulation, we don't use S because regulation can be uncountable. Regulation bisa tidak terhitung. So you don't need a. Different with customer. Customer is always countable. Selalu bisa dihitung. So we always need a if there is no S. Regulation can be uncountable. That's why you don't need a. So if you use a, it's wrong because only one word. Yeah, only one word. And we don't use as because it's uncountable here in the statement. But maybe I think you still get the point if you use as because grammatically it's also correct. So regulation or regulations with S are both correct. Okay, and then next, number 36. More teams will be formed to work on a particular blah, blah, blah. So I think we're going to see a greater emphasis within companies on teams created with a specific project in mind. Specific is the synonym of particular. So the answer here is
Project.
project. S, no S.
No S, sir.
No S because there is number 37. Businesses may need to offer hours that are wait a minute. Management styles will almost certainly continue to change, and their managers will require a lot more than the efficiency that they've always needed or a chance to work remotely. Huh. Okay, looks like the script for that is missing here. But what do you think is the answer here, guys? Businesses may need to offer hours that are perusahaan-perusahaan mungkin akan butuh menawarkan jam-jam yang or the chance to work remotely atau kesempatan bekerja secara jauh ya, secara remote. So what is the kind of hours, working hours there that you heard? What did you answer for this question? Anybody remembers? Flexible. Flexible hours. Jam kerja yang lebih flexible. Okay, and then for this one, the last number 38, provide increasing need for managers to provide good. There is leadership there. Leadership, and the last one, more and more. The predominant style of management will always certainly become more consultative and collaborative. Because above all, by more women moving into senior management positions. So more and more. Hold on. Oh, that's not the part. The part is this one here. More and more people are becoming self-employed. So the answer is self-employed. This is one word. So those are the answers, guys, to the questions. And what do you think about that? Which one were you good at? Miss Sandy, that's understandable. I know the feeling. Don't worry. But now you know what you need to work on, right? You know the challenges that you need to address. That's the hindsight from these simulations. Now you know your weaknesses, so you can focus on them and improve yourself. So what about the others? What are you good at, guys, from the listening? Are you good at identifying the paraphrase, maybe? Or following the listening while following the questions? And what area do you need to improve? Okay, go ahead and write in the chat box. What do you need to improve for the listening section? I want to see your reflection. Write in the chat box what area or what's the thing you need to improve. Okay, Miss Sandy, vocabulary. Raden also goes with the same area, yeah? Vocabs, and I agree. Ahmad Fadi with all. Your ears are fine, Miss Sandy. I think you just need to be more used to, yeah? Lebih terbiasa. Okay, Miss Juhai and Anna, she also all. All right. So yeah, academic vocabulary is specifically what you're gonna need, guys. So when you are improving your vocabulary, look for academic vocabulary list from the internet. Focus on academic vocabulary list. Okay. Nabila, I'm not sure if that's possible. There is no technology yet. Yeah, there isn't any technology that can make us get possessed by by someone during the test. But I think with a lot of practice, Nabila, you can do it too. The difference between you and people who can get high score is just because they start first. Mereka mulai duluan. That's it. That's the only difference. Okay. So you're on the right track, guys. Just keep on practicing. I'm sure you'll get there. And try to do it more intensively, especially when the program continues, because you only have until October this year to get the band score you need. Okay, so October this year is the schedule for the final IELTS official test to apply to university. And so you only have 5 to 6 months to practice and to prepare uh, to get that target score. So good luck, and that's it for today, everybody. Thank you. And Anchai, is Anchai here? Anchai, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I will contact you through WhatsApp later.
Yes, sir.